So the whistle starts at Tiger Stadium with Williamsport's quarterback Zion Hughes throwing the ball to Samir Williams, who losses the Hollidaysburg defender. Let's slow that down. Williamsburg grabs the ball right off the head of a defender.
Of David
what
Tyree.
a catch! Love that for the night.
Unbelievable.
Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. Our video crews just got back tonight from that game and others all around District 6. Live from University Park, I'm Kennedy Rivers.
And I'm Evan Pochis. We'll bring you all of those highlights, plus a look at Penn State's big victory over USC as they are in their bye week. Stick around for all that and more right here on After the Whistle. Our game of the week this week was in our very own backyard. The State High Little Lions welcomed the Carlisle Thundering Herd to town for their homecoming.
Another chance to build.
The Little Lions came into this game as the number 9 team in the state in 6A, trying to stay undefeated at home. Early in the first, Ty Salazar gets the scoring started on a 35-yard catch from Eddie Corkery and the slam dunk Selly. Looking like Ja Morant on that flush. On the ensuing kickoff, State High gets tricky with the dribbler up the middle for the onside recovery. Now what would State High do with that? Less than 2 minutes later, Salazar makes the shoestring catch, shakes a tackle, and gets in for the 13-yard score, 14-0 now, and some history, but more on that soon. And another slam dunk Selly, looking like Vince Carter on the Raptors here. To the second quarter, under 2 minutes left, the Thundering Herd muff a punt and the Little Lions recover up 40-0. Now with the backups in, they get down to the 5, and it's Kellen Williams hitting Daryl Loonan as time expires in the half. The extra point was no good, which made it 54-0. State High cruised to a 60-0 shutout, setting up a title clash with Bishop McDevitt next week. The Little Lions move to 8-1 and host the Crusaders next for a share of or the outright Mid-Penn Commonwealth title. The Thundering Herd stay winless at 0-9 and face Altoona in their season finale. Bronwyn-Liber was at Memorial Field for the game. Bronwyn, it was a blowout, but it looked like a great night for Ty Salazar.
You're certainly right, Evan. Salazar was a big part of State High's success, not only tonight, but in the season. Tonight, he had another milestone performance.
Ty Salazar is collecting accolades and records along with touchdowns for State High this season. Salazar spends lots of time on the field as both a wide receiver and corner for the Little Lions, but his stats prove he makes an impact on both ends.
Honestly, it's definitely tough trying to get all the energy to come out every single drive, every single series. But I think they kind of play hand in hand. There's a lot of things that are similar. There's a lot of things that are different.
Yeah, Ty is pretty special. We have a number of those guys that really are playing on both sides, but Ty is definitely a guy that's been out there doing it for a number of years. And to have the success that he has, a pick six and 2 touchdowns on offense, and he's in on every play.
Salazar set a record just within the first quarter, already putting up 14 points.
With that second touchdown, Ty Salazar officially becomes Center County's all-time receiving touchdown leader. This is after becoming the county's all-time receiving yards leader just last week.
Both offensive touchdowns came from connections made with quarterback Eddie Corkery. Corkery says their chemistry began long ago and happens on and off the field.
During the summer, I don't think there was a day that we weren't at the turf, working, getting our timing together. And that's like my best friend.
Salazar entered tonight's game versus Carlisle with 891 receiving yards, just missing the 1,000-yard mark, with something to work for heading into their senior night game next week.
Salazar also says the 3,000-yard mark is something he has in the back of his mind. But he also showed his talents on the defense with a 60-yard pick six. Live in the studio, I'm Bronwyn-Liber. Back to you, Kennedy.
Thanks, Bron. Now let's stick into 6A where the battle of the 7-1s took place between Central Dauphin East and Bishop McDevitt.
2 good teams.
Bishop McDevitt plays to host Central Dauphin East, who made the long 1.8-mile trip. The guys in gold were not wasting any time. Maurice Barnes roared through the lines, gets to the red zone, and then cruises into the end zone. McDevitt jumps out to a 7-0 lead.
Looking like Nick Singleton on that one.
Later in the first quarter, Stone Saunders is looking for Liam Fuller. Watch that adjustment that the junior tight end makes on the ball, as falls in for 6 more, off on the 11 pitch and the catch. Look at him go. It's 14-0 and Bishop McDevitt after first quarter. Saunders will roll to his left, and he finds the lane. John Ty Quick sustains his block long enough that the QB tiptoes past the pylon to make it 20-0. It is all Crusaders so far, and CD East knows they need something before the half. The Panthers come with the blitz, Avery Roman gets a paw on it, and Milton DeLoyne comes up with the interception. He's not done, and as he flips into that pick six, a Bishop McDevitt takes a 20-7 lead into the break. Bishop McDevitt improves to 8-1 this season, and Central Dauphin East falls to 7-2. Two high-scoring offenses faced off tonight in Crest as the 5-3 Bishop McCourt Crusaders look to dethrone the undefeated Penn Cambria Panthers. A few unsuccessful possessions in a row led to the first red zone drive of the game, with the Panthers knocking on the door. All-state player and Swiss Army knife Gavin Harrell rushes it in for the touchdown. Harrell then catches a screen pass as the Panthers successfully complete the two-point conversion. 8-0 Panthers, 4-11 left in the first quarter. Bishop McCourt, 4th and long from their own 45, bring out the punt, but wait, what? It's a fake punt from Garrick Faribault. Runs it on the outside for the first down. McCourt did not convert due to penalties and strong defensive stand from Cambria. 10-14 left in the second quarter. The Panthers are driving once again, but the Panthers quarterback drops back to avoid pressure. He loses control of the football and is recovered by the Crusaders' defensive tackle, Rockio Fazico. 8:20 left in the first quarter. The score starts heating up for both teams in the third quarter, but the Panthers comfortably kept their lead due to a 3-touchdown performance from Gavin Harrell and won 24-12. The Panthers advanced 9-0 and faced the also undefeated Bishop Guilford Mariners, while the Bishop McCourt Crusaders fall to 5-4 in the season with no other games scheduled at this moment.
We head on over now to Tiger Stadium as the 7-1 Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers look to have a home stand against the 4-4 Williamsport Millionaires. The Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers looking to defend their territory tonight. On the Golden Tigers opening drive, it's the Williamsport defense that shines, quickly forcing a fumble and recovering what a play by the defense. Millionaires quarterback Tevin Williams soon cashes in, finding his own cousin Samir Williams.
Love it,
the
chemistry.
family connection for the opening score to put them up 6-0. Now following a second takeaway, the Millionaires continue to spread the wealth as Jamel Bailey II takes the screen pass to the penthouse suite. Williamsport up 12-0. Despite their early struggles, the Tigers claw their way back into this one, standing strong in the secondary with an incredible tip drill interception and the return. The Tigers smelled blood and pounced, quickly notching 2 touchdowns of their own with momentum heading into the half, up 16-12. Despite a back-and-forth game, it was the eye of the Tiger that prevailed 30-26, forcing the Millionaires to file for bankruptcy. The now 8-1 Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers will travel to Du Bois next week, while the 4-5 Williamsport Millionaires, coming off of their 5th loss in a row, will head on back home to take on Wilkes-Barre. Let's check out the action from around District 6. Tyrone hammered Penn's Valley tonight, winning an astonishing 82-26 in a not-so-shocking game. Cedar Cliff and Altoona faced a much closer game, with Cedar Cliff winning 31-20.
Cruinsville and Glendale face off tonight, and the ball will fall into Glendale's favor with a 21-14 win. The game over at Clearfield wasn't as close as the win, with Clearfield winning 35-14, Central's 14.
Cambria Heights blew past West Shamokin 57-0 in a knockout game at home. Central Cambria was victorious at home, winning 40-18 over Westmont Hilltop.
The Bellwood-Antis Blue Devils went on the road tonight to face against the Bald Eagle Area Eagles. The 5-3 Blue Devils look to finish strong, but the Bald Eagles looks to finish with the winning record. We start things off with a fake punt that will be pitched to Ethan Shrink for the 4th down conversion.
Shades of Andy Koldenicki on that call.
Later on in the second quarter, quarterback Holden Schreier would find Colin Gibbons in the end zone for the 4th score of the game. Look at that throw, and he catches it.
That was a dime.
The Blue Devils will go on to score the 2-point conversion, Schreier connecting with Gibbons again to put the Blue Devils up 8-0.
Looks like these guys got great chemistry.
The Eagles will respond with quarterback Carson Nagel throwing a dart to tight end Wyan Spackman, but would be stopped by a failed 2-point conversion, making the score 8-6. Bellwood-Antis will go on to win the game 35-21. The Bellwood-Antis Blue Devils move on to 6-3, and the Bald Eagle Area Eagles move on move to 4-5.
Bishop Guilfoyle came into tonight as the top-ranked team in 1A in the state of Pennsylvania, but Phillipsburg Osceola was looking to play spoiler. PO held their senior night festivities before this game. Now jumping to the end of the first quarter, BG up 7-0. Quarterback Chase Kissel fakes the handoff and takes it himself into the end zone for the score. Guilfoyle leads 14-0. Now into the second quarter, Bishop Guilfoyle on the move again. This time it's Torian Consiglio on the fake pitch handoff, and he gets into the end zone. The extra point was no good, making the score 20-0 BG. Later on, it's PO trying to fight back. Archer Ballman rolls out and fires a dart to Sam McDonald, coming right into your living room for a Mountaineer touchdown, cutting the lead to 20-7. Now, right before the half, the Marauders were near the goal line. It's a familiar name on this show. Hamilton Gates takes the handoff and scores. BG would go for 2 to make it 28-7 at the half. Bishop Guilfoyle would ride the momentum into the second half and take this one by a score of 49-14. The top-ranked Marauders move to 8-0 and will travel to Penn Cambria next week, while Phillipsburg Osceola drops to 3-6 and is waiting for an announcement on their next opponent.
The Huntington Bearcats went on the road tonight to face against the Bellefonte Red Raiders. The Bearcats are still looking for their first win of the season, and this will be the one of their last chances to receive it. Will they be able to pull off this win, or will the Red Raiders have other plans? We pick things off with 2:42 left in the half. Huntington quarterback Eric Mikic throws an interception to number 6, Ashton Howell, who returns the ball to the Bearcats 30.
Give me that.
Howell runs it down the sideline, however, short of the end zone. What a great momentum for the Bearcats to close out the first half, though. Bellefonte quarterback Quinn Parks hands it off to Isaac Gall for the 15-yard touchdown, extending their lead to 37 points, taking one defender head-on all the way into the end zone.
What a stretch. Looking like Antonio Brown.
Third quarter, Park loses the ball, and Huntington would have jumped on it, giving the Bearcats excellent field position. However, would they take advantage of it? Let's check it out. Yes, they do. That same drive, Landon Ederman takes the pitch, breaks a couple of tackles, and runs it in for 6, running through the middle like nothing. That would cut the score to 49-18. The Bellefonte Red Raiders ran rapid and would go on to win 49-26. Bellefonte moves to 6-3 on the season, and Huntington moves to 0-9.
With playoffs just around the corner, football powerhouses Scranton Prep and Jersey Shore met in an out-of-district game to prepare for postseason play. Take a look here as the Bulldogs break through their banner and try to break into the win column. Starting off in the first quarter, Bulldogs running back Bo Sechrist breaks off a long run with some big hits to put Jersey Shore in the red zone. That's a grown man run. Shortly after, quarterback Elijah Jordan lowers the boom en route to a 1-yard touchdown run. Scranton Prep would respond in the second quarter with, hey, look, there's my neighbor Will McPartland scoring on the ground from 3 yards away. What a run by the young man. Late in the second quarter now, Prep quarterback Lewis Parris runs 37 yards and turns on the spin cycle for a Cavalier touchdown, finding the end zone and
Look
the
at him
camera
go.
as well.
Love that
A little
camera work.
airtime for number 5. The Cavaliers bested the Bulldogs in a close contest by a final score of 27-19. Scranton Prep moves to 8-1 with the win and will travel to North Pocono next week. Jersey Shore drops to 6-3 and heads to Central Mountain next week.
With playoffs just 2 weeks away, here are some of the District 6 teams that made the state rankings. In the Single A rankings, Bishop Guilford and Northern Cambria stayed put from last week's rankings. Over to Double A, Richland fell down to number 8 as Cambria Heights jumped up 1 spot to number 11.
In 3A, Penn Cambria remains at number 7 as they defend their undefeated record. Clearfield is just a few spots away from entering the top 10 in 4A at number 13. Now, as Hollidaysburg made no movement in 5A. Finally, our last rankings had the largest jump from this past week, and that's State College moving up 14 spots in 6A to number 9.
This past week, Pennsylvania lawmakers voted to change the current PIAA playoff format. With the playoffs looming, the committee is pushing for private and public schools to have separate brackets. Tor McCartney Chief of Staff Representative Scott Kolinkin says it's about fairness.
All we're asking is for there to be a separate playoff system so that everyone can achieve and everyone can participate on a level playing field.
Stick around as we take a look at some of those out-of-town scoreboards.
And how Penn State football is preparing for Wisconsin during their bye week. We come back to you live from the Willard Building at Penn State's University Park campus.
The blue and white are off to a hot 6-0 start. They are now on a bye week and will look to get some key players back from injury and make some game plan corrections. Our very own Harlan Pena was at practice and media earlier this week.
Thanks, Kennedy. Last week, the Penn State Nittany Lions had a nail-biting overtime win against the USC Trojans, winning 33-30, keeping the record 6-0 and their 3-0 record in the Big Ten. But as head coach James Franklin would say, they're 1-0.
Penn State was living the California dream. Trailing at half 20-6, the Nittany Lions bounced back to victory. A huge part of the comeback was tight end Tyler Warren, who set the school record and tied the NCAA record with 17 receptions by a tight end. Head coach James Franklin says Warren's skill set allows them to do many things with him.
It's been really good, and I think it's magnified when you got a really good player who's also really smart and also was a high school quarterback.
Quarterback Drew Aller had a massive second half, which helped him set a career high in pass attempts, completion, and yardage. He completed 30 of 43 throws for 394 yards, 267 of those being in the second half. He led the game-tying drive to force overtime with a touchdown to Singleton. Franklin says Aller's experience is paying off in close and big games.
I think Drew is a year older, much more comfortable, much more confident in his role as a leader, and understanding the speed of the game, how to prepare, all those things.
The Nittany Lions had 518 yards on offense, the most in their Big Ten play so far, led by play calls from first-year offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki.
Andy is doing a really good job of playing to Drew's strengths as well as playing to our personnel strengths.
Penn State heads into their second bye week of the season with an opportunity now to take a break and prepare for their final 6 games.
There's good vibes, there's good mojo. We got a chance to still learn and teach and grow after a win, which I think is a really important skill and tool for us all to learn.
The Nittany Lions hit the road next for a night game in Wisconsin, looking to keep their undefeated record alive. Live in the studio, I'm Harlan Pena. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Harlan. It was an exciting Friday night around District 6 football. Let's take a look at our top 3 plays for this week. First, Scranton Prep. Lewis Paris stiff arms Jersey Shore defender and spins his way in for 6.
Next, Williamsport's Samir Williams high points the ball on the best catch of the night. How's that for tracking the ball down? What an amazing catch.
Last but not least, Ty Salazar picks this one off and takes it to the house for State College. A perfectly placed ball and an awesome return for the Little Lions for the touchdown. And a great way to end our top 3 plays of the night.
Certainly.
Look at him go.
That's going to do it for District 6 football this week. For more updates about our show and our coverage of games, follow us at Twitter and Instagram at ATWPSU. I'm Evan Pochis.
And I'm Kennedy Rivers. Tune in next week for more coverage around the area and, of course, Penn State football right here on After the Whistle.